the betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.
I'll start off the place accumulator. It will be race number 2. You need to get your bets on by 13:05, and this is a maiden juvenile plate over 1,200 meters. And before we get into the race and have a look at the field, let's go to our interview and rerun package.
Leader marker now, and now Fine One takes it up, and Grovefield becomes the danger on the outside. Down the inside is Samuel Longsword, and then comes Son of Erupt. But now Fine One takes it up and has got it all under control today. And Fine One will win by about 3 lengths. Grovefield second, Samuel Longsword, and then Son of Erupt.
Yeah, speed and staying. You know, his brothers ran second, I think, in that staying race on Met Day. So he's also shown really nice work at home. He's a really nice horse. Also, like, I haven't tested him, but he's done enough as well to go the races. And, you know, if there's nothing too special, he should be there and thereabouts.
Oh, that's a nice way to end off that interview. If there's nothing too special, he should be there or thereabouts. And, yep, I looked up that pedigree, Warren. The dam had plenty of winners. Most notable for me was She's a Giver, who was a 4-time winner from that pedigree of number 1, River Dance. But when we have a look at the race, of course, we're going in blind with all these Miller horses, who will definitely have, some type of outcome to race number 2, especially if you look at horse number 11, Gold Rush Kid, who was quite defancied on debut, Warren, and that was around the turn at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and beaten by Ferry Runner and Stewart. She's a Machine. So they'll have some type of line if they're looking at a horse like Gold Rush Kid as possibly the line horse in the race. Number 1, River Dance, because that horse, as I mentioned, She's a Machine, is trained by Stuart Ferry. So that's point number 1. But Samuel Longsword was, beaten 4 lengths by Fine One, but making his debut, it wasn't a poor introduction. In fact, I thought it was a good introduction. If you heard that commentary, I think second in that race was Grovefield, who won a good race, and we were just chatting about Yogus Govender. That horse looks progressive, Grovefield, who was second.
It was a very, very nice horse, and when Grovefield won, Yogus actually called me. I was working at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, and he said, come to the back and have a look at this horse, and he rates the horse. And I must say, as I mentioned on air that day and to Yogus, that he really looked in tip-top shape at Grovefield, and he duly won. So the form line has sparked up there nicely. Just going back to Gold Rush Kid, often the Millers, they specialise in these young horses. This is by Rabada out of Bedloes Island, a beautiful Blue Sky Thoroughbreds pedigree. That if they don't win on debut, they win sort of at their second or third start. And I think you can expect Gold Rush Kid to go very close. Well, you might say, well, he was second to last. People might say, well, he was second to last on debut. But 3 lengths, as you say, behind She's a Machine from here to the doorway. There's tons of scope for Gold Rush Kid to improve, like there's tons of scope for Samuel Longsword to improve. This horse, River Dance, I remember this horse, River Dance, because a colleague of ours, Michelle Wing, spoke to me about this horse some time ago when they were putting it together. He's a Vercingetorix colt out of a VAR mare. Beautiful pedigree, as you've alluded to. And reading between the lines, I wouldn't leave this out of your play on debut because he is a nice horse. But other than that, China Berry could improve. The specialists we don't know much about. But for me, probably 10 and 11 would be my selections for this race.
This China Berry, Wendy Whitehead was very open with her comments when I chatted to her when this individual made his debut. She said he's here for the education and he's here for the run, and he will definitely come on. Because if you look at the position that he was in lengthwise, not position-wise, we know that he was at the back of the field, but he was so far out of his ground that it was impossible for him to just pass horses. But nevertheless, he made up ground. 11 lengths to 5 lengths, that's 6 lengths over 400 meters, to try and get to those horses that got a break on him after his poor beginning. So I think there's more to come from him. And again, when you see Richard Fourie engaged in horses, He's not just taking rides, Warren. He's vying for it. He's putting his head down, and he wants multiple winners on a race card. That's what he's here for. He goes for the choice mounts, the plums as I call them, and he's not going to just take a ride. So bookmakers have gone with this horse tight. I expected bigger, but they've gone with this horse tight at 4-1. Just behind the 3-1 shots, numbers 10 and 11 at the time of recording. But for the PA, would you be happy with numbers 10 and 11?
Yeah, for those with limited spends, which is the most of us, 10 and 11 surely would get us through. But, a horse like, as you say, China Berry, even a horse like Havana Moon, we're talking about Gold Rush Kid finishing 5th, 3.20 to She's a Machine. Well, Havana Moon finished 6th, 3.70. So if we're expecting Gold Rush Kid to improve, Havana Moon can too. But to answer your question, for limited spend, 10 and 11, I would have to be happy with here. I would like to maybe add one more, because the first race, in our opinion, is quite clear-cut with the favourite. This is a bit more difficult as far as we're concerned. But 10 and 11, yes, should be more than enough for the place accumulator.
Yeah, I think if those two horses don't finish in the top three, you'll drop plenty of tickets here. It will be a result in race number 2. But keep an eye on the first timers at the time of recording. Nothing really fancied beside number 1 River Dance, that's priced up at around 11-2, and Stuart Ferry did give some positive comments with regards to his first timer. But 10 and 11 for Warren and myself in the first leg of that place accumulator.
It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.